everybody, Koricon here, and I am joined with a subscriber, Naresh Babu. Hello.
Hey, hi.
And
Hi.
where are you from? Where are you living?
So I'm living in Seattle right now.
Seattle?
Yeah, I'm from Hyderabad, but I moved here a year back.
Nice. How do you like it in Seattle?
Yeah, I like it. It's far better in the summer.
Yeah, it's very rainy. There's a lot of moisture.
Yeah,
It probably
but I
gets
get used to it.
very cloudy up there.
Yep.
Well,
we get that a lot.
I had, for some of you that may not know, so I've been dealing with some bipolar issues, and I have a hard time wanting to make videos. And so, but I do good with collabs. I feed off the energy of other people. I enjoy interaction. And so I put out a call that was like, anybody that wants to do a video, I don't care what the subject is or the discussion or what, just let me know. And you were one of the first ones to say, hey, I'll do something. And a couple of days later, here we are. So thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
No problem.
So you were asking about my doctor. I see my doctor next Monday on the 11th. The problem I was having is the medication I'm on right now, it eliminates the manic part of the bipolar. So what bipolar is you get depressed, and then your brain will try to compensate, and it brings you up, and then you become manic, where your brain won't shut off. You're thinking way too fast. You can't sleep. It's not depression, but it's still hard to deal with. And then your brain compensates again and comes back, and you become depressed. And it's just this ongoing wave. So it eliminated the manic and took the depression down a bit or up a bit. But then I was just depressed all the time. So I didn't have the reprieve that the manic gives you, where you kind of like having a little weird vacation from depression. I didn't get that. And so I was just depressed all the time. And it wasn't working. I would rather be more depressed and then get the reprieve of the manic than to just be depressed all the time. So I got off the medication, but then I'd have to deal, I had to deal with getting the meds out of my system, and it makes me the bipolar wacky for a while. And then now I'm finally starting to stabilize a bit. And then when I see him, we'll see what kind of, maybe there's a new medication I would do. Because one of the problems with bipolar is you can't just say, oh, well, take this, because it's different for every person. So the way that they figure out which medication you should be on is they give you one, and you take it for a while and you see what happens. And then if that doesn't work, then you take another one and you take that for a while and see what happens. It's just trial and error. So I don't know. I don't know what'll happen on Monday, but hopefully something good.
Good luck.
Yeah, thank you.
Hopefully you get better.
I hope so. Because I have a lot of things I want to do, but when your head's not right, it's hard to do it.
Yeah.
And you also had asked before we started the video about my dad.
Yep.
Yeah, that my dad is where I got exposed to Indian movies, because he's been watching them for probably 20 years now. He started out watching them because he loves tracking shots of horses and war battle sequences. And so he was looking through old movies and trying to find the best kind of tracking shots. And a friend of his at work, who's Indian, told him to check out a couple of old Indian movies. And he did, and he was blown away by some of these tracking shots. And so he just kind of got into it. And than was just watching them all the time. So it was always in the house. I didn't really watch too many of them, except for like every once in a while he'd be like, hey, you really need to watch this movie Ghajini, or you need to watch Iga, and I would sit down and watch it with him. But when I started YouTube, I wasn't even thinking about doing Indian movies until someone requested Bahubali. And then I was like, well, my dad watches it. Why not? And then it went crazy after that. For sure. So when did you first start watching me?
I don't remember. I think similar times as maybe 2-3 years back when I was in Hyderabad. So I used to get bored and like surf YouTube, like net, Twitter, and that. So I think I noticed somehow. I don't remember. Like it's very early for the React scene. Like I mean, even the Jabi Koe, the famous one, used to have very less subscribers during that time. So I followed you, I followed JB, and the other guy. There used to be one teenager. I forgot his name. He's from, I think, Sweden or somewhere in the Europe.
Toma Puck?
Yeah, he stopped doing videos. So yeah, 3-4 guys. I think there used to be one Indian guys. Like I think they are from Europe. But I think
Polyfools.
Yeah. So these 4-5 guys, the early guys, I used to like look at. Yeah, but I liked yours a lot because you used to be very casual about it and more honest than, you don't have the other side of Jebika, the glam, but I used to like yours a lot. Then I think after you, I think I liked one more guy, that is Corey from Australia, I think. He used to do a lot of reviews and I liked his selection of movies.
Yeah. Is he doing them anymore?
I don't know. I think, I generally like stumble upon one guy and like try to watch a lot of videos of him. Then generally if it won't end up in my feed, I miss it. Yeah, you're one guy I try to come to your channel and see kind of thing mostly.
Have you watched some of the new ones, the new reactors that have come up?
Which one might be, but I don't know which one you're.
There's a bunch of them. I just wasn't sure if you've watched any of the new people. I'm like, there's so many people right now, a lot of them actually. That there's one guy called Trinity, something like that. There's a few of them I do watch it, but I'm not able to recollect their names. Yeah, some of these newer ones coming up, they're growing really fast, fast.
There are a few which has grown a lot.
But the internet has expanded super rapid in India, especially over the past 2 years.
Yeah, I think you're correct, because there was something with the mobile data revolution, you can say.
Yeah, because they're trying to lay down fiber in some of the big cities like Mumbai and whatnot, but they're not, to get everywhere. They started expanding so heavy with the cellular.
Yeah.
And basically giving away free internet for a lot of people.
Yeah. Yeah. I think they did it for 6 months. Now they charge a little compared to US, because I pay super pricey, maybe $45, but I get 6 GB.
See, I have a super high speed, but that's because of my city. We had voted on laying our own fiber network in the city. And so I have 1 gig. I have 1 gig fiber speed at my house. I get about an average of between 850 to 950 megabits up and down. It's crazy. And we pay like 50 a month.
Oh,
Yeah.
I think we'll do. I use Xfinity here, and it's not that fast, but yeah, it's okay.
We have Xfinity here. That's what we used to use. But ever since our gig network went up, nobody uses Xfinity because they don't offer those kind of speeds. It's insane. But I think we're only a handful of cities in the country that have it. So we're really lucky. But there's a lot of cities around us that last year voted for it. So in the next 5 years, we may have like 3 other cities around me that are going to have their own fiber network as well. So I think it's something that's going to grow and spread throughout the country, which is not good news for Xfinity. I'll tell you that. They better start laying down some fiber or they're going to get left behind.
Yeah, like how it happened in India. A new player comes and like bulldozes all the old players. It's something completely new.
Right. So what do you do in Seattle? What's your job?
Yeah, I'm a software engineer. I work for Amazon.
Amazon?
Yeah.
Nice. What do you think about Amazon wanting to start, like they were going to start another headquarters in New York and then they got basically booted, kicked out of New York.
Yeah. I don't know the full details, but I think they got out because they got some retractions on the discounts they thought they get like some $3 to $4 billion.
Do you think they're going to try and do another headquarters somewhere else?
I don't know. So we get the same information like everybody. It's like we don't know anything internally first.
But that's pretty cool that you work at Amazon. We got in Boulder, which is the big city that's next to us. Google is building like a 4-building complex over there for one of their headquarters, which is pretty crazy. And then I think Apple might be moving over here with a big headquarters somewhere also. And so we have a lot of tech in our area.
I forgot to ask which city you're from. I think you might have told in last. Yeah.
Longmont. Yeah, it's my mailing address is in the description of all the videos.
Yeah.
It's Longmont, Colorado, which is about 15 minutes north of Boulder, which is Boulder and Denver are the 2 big cities in Colorado.
Yeah. So I heard Denver a lot, but yeah.
Yeah. So I like my town because it's big enough to have everything. Like we even have an Indian grocery store.
A lot here.
But it's because we're a big tech area, we do have a lot of local Indian. We have a lot of Indian people that work at like Ball Aerospace and Google and some of these other big tech companies. Some of my friends work at like Seagate and some other areas. So we have big Indian population in Longmont and like Westminster, which is another area between here and Denver. And then South Denver, where I would see a lot of movies. There's a huge Indian population down there. So yeah, we have an Indian grocery store in my town.
Did you ever go to that?
Yeah, I actually did a video, was it maybe a year and a half or 2 years ago, where I went and just bought a bunch of like pre-made foods and then made them and ate them.
Yeah, I think
people were like, "That's not real Indian food." I'm like, whatever. I just
yeah, I think I saw that. I'm just getting you got some chips and all
Yeah, so I mean, I knew it wasn't authentic Indian food, but I mean, it was like now that grocery store does have a lot of like raw ingredients from India that people buy to make their own food, but I don't know how to make any of that. So I was just buying the pre-made stuff. We also have a Indian restaurant out here I haven't been to yet. I really want to go. And I have some friends that we might go and film, like just order a bunch of stuff and then taste test it. But organizing that with everybody's schedule is difficult because they have kids and I work nights, so it's a little hard to get. It's hard to get everybody in one area. Like, I don't even get home until like 10:30 or 11:30 or midnight. So, and I start work at like 2 in the afternoon.
Oh, okay.
So it's either has to be That's like cool. Either has to be on a day off or has to be like a lunch.
Yeah.
But trying to organize that. We'll see. It's something I want to do. I thought it would be really fun and people would enjoy it. I can't do spicy. I'm not good with spicy food. So I'd be like, what is the most mild version of this that you have?
There's a lot of sweets actually, so you can try that.
Yeah, I'm not a big sweets person. I don't mind sweet, but I like savory. So like, I would love saffron rice. I know I love saffron rice.
Okay.
Rice is probably my favorite food besides pizza.
Did you ever had a biryani?
No.
Okay.
But at least not authentic stuff. I think I had something similar to that in that video, but it was a pre-made something or other, and people are like, "That's not real." And so, but this restaurant apparently does it right. From all of my friends that have told me about it. I just don't eat out very often. So one of these days we'll get that video. I think it would be a really fun video to do. But everybody, whenever I talk about food, that's the first thing they say. Like if I do a video and food is not mentioned, there's like a handful of comments all saying the same thing. Have you tried biryani? Have you tried biryani?
I said it because you said you like the saffron rice. I mean, the biryani has a lot of aromatic rice, which is sometimes they add saffron as well in the top for the coloring and
Yeah, and it's rice. So I know it's something I would love as long as it's not super spicy to where I can't taste anything.
Yeah.
So what is your favorite food then from home?
I don't know, a bunch of them. Yeah, biryani is one because I'm from Hyderabad. Like in India, Hyderabad is famous for biryanis and spicy food as well. But I'm not that much into spicy food. Yeah, I like a lot of different things. Yeah.
Now, there's a lot of vegetarians in India. Like.
Yeah, and the north, at least northern India.
So are there dishes, Indian dishes that have meat, like chicken or pork or anything like that? Fish, maybe?
The pork is not much in the India. I mean, there are people who eat it, but it's very rare. Yeah, chicken is mostly used, and then you get the lamb and fish. Yeah, fish as well.
I would like lamb because I like gyros. You know, Greek. Have you ever had a gyro? That is most.
I had, yeah.
That's mostly like lamb and other meat, spiced and everything. I love gyros. Yeah. So I'm sure I would like the lamb and the chicken. I like chicken. Do they deep fry it and put it on waffles with syrup?
No, like it's a different. I think the way in India they cook is more like they cut it into small pieces, then cook it. That's a more Indian way. Then there is Middle Eastern kind of like on the grill kind of chicken.
So what's your favorite dessert then?
I don't know, like maybe I would say gulab jamun is one, and there's a bunch of them actually. Like I'm not big into desserts, but yeah, gulab jamun is one. I don't know if you saw that. It looks red balls kind of thing in a syrup, like a more of a sugar syrup.
Interesting. I'll see if that restaurant has that.
Yeah, generally, like a lot of people eat it with ice cream as well. Ice cream and gulab jamun. Yeah, that's something like generally people eat it in the after dinner.
Awesome. So you're one of the, I think you are the first subscriber that I've done a video with. No?
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I think you do a lot of...
I do a lot of collabs with other like YouTubers and stuff, but I did do an interview with King's Writer, and they were subscribers, but they were bloggers. They wanted to interview me for their blog. So is there any questions that you would have now that you have my full attention? Is there anything that you wanted to know?
I might have a lot of things. I might have a lot of things to ask you, just general chit chat. I don't know if everything can go on a video, but simple, like, I want to know, like, what is your first movie you remember which you watched, like an Indian?
My first Indian movie?
Yeah.
My first Indian movie would have to be Ghajini. That was the first one that my dad showed me.
How did you feel about it? It's because it's somewhat of a ripoff of Memento.
Well, yeah, it's kind of a remake of Memento, but not too close. Yeah. It's not. I wouldn't call it a true remake. You know,
it's more of a
I mean, it has a very similar kind of story in that the character has short-term memory loss.
Yeah,
but it's a linear story. Memento is not a linear story.
Yeah,
and the filming, everything else about it is really different. It was just that core concept that's very similar.
So did you like it, or it's more like so they ruined the Memento kind of feeling?
I liked it, but I prefer Memento just because. Memento was a very unique way of storytelling, and it made you feel like you were losing your own short-term memory. Like you didn't know what was going on. With Ghajini, you could pretty much guess what was going to happen because it is linear. With Memento, I couldn't.
Ghajini is more of a romantic movie than a Memento kind of movie.
Yeah. But I thought Khan did a great job, and the action sequences were good.
Okay.
So I liked the fight scenes from what I remember. Now it's been probably 5 or 6 years since I saw it, or more. But from what I remember liking the action sequences. And I was surprised by the cinematography. That was one of the things when it comes to Indian movies that I wasn't expecting, especially when I saw that Bahubali trailer, is the cinematography. Like Indian movies, it doesn't matter what your budget is. It can be the lowest budget movie and still the cinematography looks great. Like some of the best cinematographers, I think, are in India, because we have movies out here in the States that have like $30 million budgets and they still don't have great cinematography. And then you go and you watch this Indian movie that was made for like maybe $500,000 US, and it's like gorgeous shots, like vibrant colors and beautiful framing. I'm like, how do they do that?
I think it's all with the digital cameras.
I think you guys you have a lot of good people that are interested in cinematography. that I don't think the U.S. has as many. I would love to just start shipping over some of the cinematographers and putting them to work in Hollywood. You know, I really would like to see some more cross-collabing for movie stuff. Like with 2.0, you know, I interviewed that stereographer that he does the 3D. He's American. He actually lives like 3 hours away from me. He lives here in Colorado.
Okay.
And he went to India for pretty much 3 years and worked on the 3D for 2.0. So if I love the fact that, you know, if the Indian filmmaker is like, look, we don't know enough about 3D. Let's bring in somebody that's foreign that knows it. I would want the same thing from an American company. Be like, did you see the cinematography on this low budget Indian film? Fly that guy over to Hollywood and let's put him behind the camera. You know, I would like to see some crossing of not just actors, but behind the scenes, cameramen, you know, people that work in the industry. I would like to see some of those specializations crossing over. That would be great.
I generally see the Malayalam movies have very good cinematography. Like they look so beautiful. Like they're the like the smallest industry in the south. Maybe Kannada and Malayalam. Yeah, maybe Kannada is smaller, but compared to the Telugu and Tamil, the biggies, they're small, but still they end up making so beautiful movies. Like look so beautiful on the screen.
Well, like the Kannada film I reviewed most recently, KGF. Cinematography was beautiful in that movie.
That's a big movie.
It is a big movie. But I've seen a lot of trailers from Malayalam and Kannada that just had really great cinematography or amazing looking drone shots. Colors were very vibrant. So, yeah, I don't know. Is there like some special secret society that's just pumping out great cinematographers in secret somewhere?
Maybe. But yeah, I think the quality of the picture and the overall that increased a lot in recent years.
Yeah, very much so. Because I remember, I don't think I watched full movies, but my dad would watch some movies back in early 2000s, late 90s. And he loved it for the story, and he liked the song and dance and the romance. He liked all of that stuff. And but I would be like, man, this looks kind of cheesy, and I didn't want to watch it. But he loved it. It was funny. One time we have for some of my Indian fans that don't know what Thanksgiving is, in the United States we have Thanksgiving every November, which is just, it's pretty much a fake holiday. People just, it's an excuse to get together and eat a lot of food. And so one of the days, one of our Thanksgivings, my dad just stood up from the dinner table because he finished eating, and then he started dancing. And he was like singing whatever song he had watched earlier that day. I'm like, what are you doing?
I like your, you put up those dance sequence in your videos, like at the end.
Oh, that, yeah.
Yeah. That I liked a lot.
Yeah, I do it to be silly. It's fun, something fun to do. I've had some comments where people are like, "Oh, you really need to change your intro and outro because your dancing is horrible." I'm like, I know, it's supposed to be funny.
Man. Those guys don't know anything.
I'm like, I'm not a great dancer. I'm messing around. I'm joking.
Yeah.
But I try and do a new one like every 6 months or so, because I think the one before that was another dance. And I think I did a dance before that one too. I've had a few different intros. Yeah, I should probably make a new one at some point, because I've been using this one for a while.
How do you feel about the music in the Indian movies?
I like the music. I really like the music that has more of less techno, so less electronic and more real instruments. I like to feel the drums, you know. So whenever I see scenes with festivals, I really love those because the music during a festival is always vibrant and deep and has like good like real drum pounds and horns and string music. So I love the festival stuff. When they get into the electronica and like pop music, there's nothing wrong. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with it. I'm just not a big fan of it personally. That's just my own music taste. But I don't think they're bad songs.
So India has a lot of original, I mean, I won't say original, but like traditional instruments and traditional sounds. Yeah, there's this video in the, I think it's called Berkeley College of Music, A.R. Rahman ensemble cover or something like that. So they do a lot of like traditional instruments.
I would like that. You should send me a link for that.
Yeah, I'll send that. Yeah, a lot of people actually did the reactions on it, but I know you don't do reactions on the music. Yeah, I don't know how the other guys do it, but
yeah, if I ever did reactions to music, I would start another channel because of the copyright issues are so bad that I don't want to risk this channel by doing it. And if I do one, because I know someone is going to comment, "Oh, you could do this one, you won't get a copyright."
Yeah, you will get more requests.
Maybe. But once I do one, I'm going to get 10,000 requests for others.
Yep.
So if I ever did do music reactions, I would start a channel specifically for the music reactions. So if that channel gets taken down, I don't care. I just don't want to risk this channel by doing it.
Yeah.
Like,
you can get it right.
Yeah, and some people point out that Jabby has done music reactions, but he can get permission to do it.
Yeah.
I don't have that access. Yeah. I don't have that access to get permission. You know, I've had companies like T-Series get back to me on specific things sometimes, and I've interacted with like the visual effects department at Red Chilies. Talk to their color grading department, things like that. But I don't like really have access to the people that control the copyright of songs. At least not yet.
But you're a big man. You got Madhavan on your channel.
My channel is not that big. People think I'm big, but I'm only 20,000 subscribers.
Yeah, I don't understand. I think people have different tastes. I don't know. They don't like honest reactions. Maybe they want to have
I don't know. It's like there's a lot of channels because I think most of the people, you know, that are watching YouTube, they're younger, so they're going to gravitate more towards the high energy, younger and prettier people. I'm an old fat dude that's talking about logic and technical things. Like I'm not really made for the 15-year-old kid that wants to watch an exciting YouTube video. Most of
I think you don't do the clickbait videos as well, like the 15 things you want to know about India, or Indian Army, or the things which generally click like all Indians try to click kind of thing. I see you don't do that as well.
Yeah, I don't do the clickbaity stuff. I did do some of that like way in the beginning, back when I didn't have many subscribers. And back then you would just react to whatever because you're testing things out, you're trying stuff.
Yeah.
So I have some videos up of me like reacting to sports. I think I reacted to rugby and like cricket and a couple of other things. A lot of those got copyright issues because of the music that they used. And then I think I might have, let's see, I think I did a couple. I maybe have done like a handful of things that are not movie related. But after a while, I decided that I'm just going to focus only on movies and TV. I'm not going to like go all over the place with these other reactions because I just didn't have time. There's no way that I could do that. If I was doing it full time, maybe. Or maybe I would start a second channel to do those, weird videos and song reactions. But I like to keep this one focused on movies and TV. I like having that kind of focus.
Yeah.
My cat is back there doing stuff.
In your experience, like which movies you like best in Indian movies? Like, I mean, which are closer to your taste?
I like movies. So the movies that have song and dance in them, I like them, but I want the story to flow into the song and dance and flow out. Have a nice, smooth transition, have a reason for the song to be there. So one of the more recent ones I would say is Vikram Vita. Because I loved the way that all of the songs made sense. They had a purpose, and the story flowed into it and out of it. Like Tusaku Tusaku is one of my favorite songs. Just a whole bunch of big, hairy, fat guys dancing in a bar. Like, that's me. That's my personality in a song.
I remember that. you singing that song in that reaction video. I mean, the review. You liked it a lot, I feel.
Yeah, I love that song. But I also, so I like it when the story flows in. When it's just a music video that they filmed before they made the movie, and then they just drop it randomly in the movie, I don't like that. I don't like that. It distracts me from the film. And I know a lot of people don't mind that, but I don't like that. So
I think we're tuned.
Yeah.
With a lot of movies like that, yeah.
And then I like some of the more dramatic stories and darker stories, like Raman Raghav 2.0. That one was really good. Plus, Nawazuddin Siddiqui was amazing in that movie.
Yeah.
So creepy. Like he's a guy, after seeing that movie, I would be cautious about asking him for an autograph. I'd be like, don't kill me, but because
if you see his interviews, he looks shy. He doesn't look that intimidating.
No, he's all of the interview stuff I've seen with him, he's very down to earth, and he doesn't do social media. He doesn't do any he's a recluse. He lives in a very small town. He doesn't even live in a big city. So he's a little separated from everything. He just kind of comes back when he does a movie, but he is such a natural actor. So
he struggled a lot to become like a mainstream. So I think he was there from 2000s, and he was doing like bit roles, small roles, which comes and go, like a waiter and all those things. Then I think maybe Kahani and a few more movies which actually started his thing, and Gangs of Wasseypur.
Yeah. So I like that. The only kind of genre that I don't get into a lot, like I'll watch it, but I'm not like going out of my way to watch it, is romance. Just because pure romance is extremely boring to me.
Yeah.
But I do have to say I am one of the rare people that liked Padmavat. Because it was based on an epic poem, I liked the time period. I also liked, I like seeing ancient things. I like seeing things that are old, especially if it's based on something that was already written. Like the costumes, the set design, everything looked beautiful. Every shot looked gorgeous. I do agree that the pacing was really slow, but they had some great song and dance numbers in that one also. I really loved the music in that. So I'm not a big romance guy, but
India has a lot of romantic movies, especially
yeah, I know.
But it's the easiest thing to do, right? Get some pretty faces and do it.
Yep, romance is the easiest to do. So and that's why you have romantic storylines in all of the action movies as well. Is you want to have a lot of you want to have what's the word I'm looking for? Juxtapose of the action. You want some of the romance.
Yeah, something for everybody's what they say in India.
The only problem I have with some of that is they kind of just shove a romance story in there for a short period of time, but they don't go anywhere with it. It's like they have a backflash. He falls in love with the girl. They cook some food. They have a kid or whatever, and then you don't see her again. So the last half of the movie, there's nothing to do with that storyline. It's like, well, why did you even have it? Some of these movies, you could cut out the romance storyline and you would feel no change in the flow of the film. So if there is a romantic storyline, I want it to be relevant so that when you come to the end of the movie, it becomes full circle of why you told that story. And not a lot of Indian movies do that. I wish more would. I think a lot of action movies just kind of shove the romance in there just to have it because it's expected.
I would
like
we have that formula. Like movies, more of every kind of hero will have a romantic interest. It's just fill in.
Yeah, and
just
I
20 minutes, 30 minutes. Yeah.
I understand it. I understand why they have that. But I don't think it would be too hard to kind of intertwine that story into the rest of your action.
Sometimes it gets super hard for them because it's not their story. They just put it there because they want to get the movie bankroll. Or it's like that. The new age filmmakers are trying to come out of it. Sometimes forcefully, sometimes they want to make independent movies.
Yeah.
Just to do like that,
Well, like which one was it? I think it was the Rajinikanth film. I think it was Kala was a more recent one.
Yeah.
The romance story in there had relevance to the whole movie.
It's Petta, the one where he's young, you're talking about? Like he was a warden or something.
It was the one where he was kind of running the
slums.
Yes, inside Mumbai.
That's Kala.
Yeah. So the movie opens with his wife basically running the household, telling everybody what to do. She goes outside. No one can tell Rajinikanth what to do except her. Very strong female. I loved at that moment. I loved her. And then they had that other storyline with the other woman, and it's like things got really kind of interesting. And then by the end of the movie, like it made sense why it was in there.
Yeah.
So I still don't think Kala was like the greatest movie ever, but I think it was better than Kabali.
I think the director, the Ranjit, I don't know, he's doing movies with Rajinikanth, like he did a couple of movies, but I feel he's more suited for small actors, because he has more grounded stories and more. So he tries to make movies on the class divide. India has a lot of class divide, so he tries to take that into like his movies, try to show very subtly in the movies, sometimes on the face as well. Yeah, but when you bring in Rajinikanth, you have to be very politically correct. There's a lot at stake when he comes on the picture. So I think I don't know, he still does it, but
yeah, I mean, Rajinikanth is big star.
It's like
his fans are very vibrant.
Yeah. Yeah. I think everybody liked him for his you can say style, histrionics, all those things. Yeah, he was different from others, so that's why everybody liked him. Actually, he was like it's what do you call that? They didn't expect him to become big hero. He was a struggling actor doing different like anti-hero roles, all those things. Then suddenly he became like this big thing.
Yeah, one of my favorites that I reviewed of his was Basha.
Oh, that's like a classic.
Yeah, I liked Basha, especially the auto driver's dance sequence. And that's one of my perfect examples of the song and dance is a part of the film. You know, he's talking with the other auto drivers, he's talking with the lady, and then it naturally goes into this song and dance on that set with all the auto drivers, and then it flows out of that too. It was a great into the song and out of the song without really missing a beat. And I just liked the story of Basha. I thought it was an interesting movie.
Yeah.
I think a lot of his movies in the past couple of years have been trying to like recapture some of that, what Basha had done.
Yeah. I think, I don't know, not many people agree, but he was not doing a lot of quality movies ever, but he's more of those movies where it's like he's super big, like it's like some Don or some village head. Yeah, so those blockbuster movies, but not very like quality movies.
Yeah, it's like watching a Fast and Furious movie.
Yeah,
like,
you can say that.
You go for the fun. You go to enjoy yourself, but you know it's not award-winning writing or anything. You're just there to have a good time.
It's like award-winning directors can't afford him because they bring in movies which are real and they can't make too much money. It's like, I don't know, if the recent movie that is released in the Hindi, it's called Sonchiriya. I don't know if you heard of it. So that everybody is saying good, but nobody is going to that movie. And
really?
the other movie, and it has so many good actors, like a lot of good actors. It has an ensemble cast. The other movie is a romantic movie. It's called Luka Chuppi or something like that. And it got bad reviews, but still people are going.
Yeah. Well, we have that here in the United States as well. A lot of movies that are really good that don't make a lot of money in the theater, but they're really good movies and they last a long time. People watch them for years to come. And then you have movies that everybody sees in the theater because it's fun, but then they forget about it and they never watch it again.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what are you going to do? You either make a really good movie and hope it makes money, or you just push out whatever because you know that it's popular and people are going to see it. Or you do a mix. You make one of the pop movies that you know is going to make money so that you have enough money to make a good movie that you know may not do very well.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that happens in the United States as well. Directors and actors will do these big movies because they know they'll make a lot of money, and then they use that money to make independent films and smaller films that they want to do that they know is not going to make a lot of money.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Did you like any particular actor? Like you felt like his good, his choices of movies are good, something like that.
Well, like Nawazuddin Siddiqui.
Yeah, that's fun. Yeah,
but mostly because I like his acting style. He's a very natural actor. He doesn't seem like he's trying. He's not trying to act. He just is that character. It reminds me of Daniel Day-Lewis. You know, Daniel Day-Lewis he's a method actor, but he's a very natural method actor where he becomes that character basically.
Yeah.
I like Madhavan, obviously.
Yeah.
Not only because I interviewed him, but he does a great job. And I love the fact that he does different languages. You know, I like that. I like that he crosses over to do movies in multiple languages.
Yeah.
I would like to see a lot more of that. I would like to see actors jumping to between different industries because I want, in a perfect world in my head, there would just be an Indian film industry, just one. They have different languages in there, but it's just one industry.
Yeah, but I think it depends on how many people are going to consume it, because still a lot of people don't understand the Hindi.
I don't understand Hindi. Like I like to point out, it's like all of the Indian languages to me are just subtitles. If I can do it, you can do it.
which one sound weird for you? Like the language? I mean, when you're hearing to that language, it looks somewhat different.
To me, they sound very similar. Like similar? I hear slight differences in cadences on how some words are pronounced or how a word is pronounced, but to me it's just not English, so it just sounds like a foreign language, and then I'm reading subtitles. It doesn't matter to me what language it is. I don't really care. So but I like to point out, if I can watch a movie in subtitles, you can watch a movie in subtitles. And so you should go watch this movie, just watch it with subtitles. Yeah. But people don't want to do that.
Yeah. I don't know. So I used to watch this anime, like Japanese anime. So like there's two versions for anime. Is more of like dubbed and subbed, right? So some people don't want to read subtitles, so they go for dubbed. But the dub doesn't have the same kind of feel.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we do get that in the, like, at least in the Tamil to Telugu. Like there are a lot of movies which are made in Tamil, then dubbed into Telugu. But the problem with the movies is there are some 10 dubbing actors who do the dubbing for all the movies. Whether it will be Surya, anybody who has it, they do the same dubbing actor will do it, and it's completely different feeling. Like you lose the feel of the movie.
I'm not a fan of dubbing. I don't like it because I don't get to hear the performance from the actor. I'm hearing a performance of another actor that's not as good as the actor that I'm supposed to be hearing. So whenever I watch a movie, I try and watch it in the language they filmed it in, which became difficult for with 2.0. You know, you had Akshay was speaking Hindi and Rajinikanth and everyone else is, you know, so it's like, whichever you either watch the Hindi version to get Akshay Kumar's performance and then everyone else is dubbed, or you watch the Tamil version and then Akshay is dubbed. But I know there's got to be a cut out there somewhere where they're both speaking their own languages. No dubbing whatsoever. It's just Akshay saying stuff in Hindi, Rajinikanth saying stuff in Tamil. I want that cut. I want to see that with subtitles so that I can hear the performances from both.
I think originally, I don't know, maybe they might have done the two different versions, but generally the movies which are dubbed, even if a Hindi actor is still like it's if it is going to be dubbed in Hindi, they still speak the original lines, even if they don't understand it.
Exactly.
Maybe later, yeah.
Yeah, so I want to see that cut. I want to see that edit of the movie that has Akshay and Rajinikanth talking with each other, and Akshay speaking Hindi, Rajinikanth speaking Tamil. I know it would be really confusing for an Indian that speaks one of those languages, but to me, because it's all subtitles, it doesn't matter what they're saying. I have the subtitles, but I can actually hear what
how they talk.
How they did their performance.
Yeah.
So, I'm not a fan of dubbing. The only time I like or will accept dubs is if the original actor is dubbing it in another language. So, if you've ever seen Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, they were speaking a ancient form of Mandarin.
Yeah.
And if you watch the English dub version, Michelle Yeoh, Chow Yun-fat, like all of them, they dubbed their own English dubbing. So it was their voice, it's their performance. And then they adjusted some of the wording to try and match the lip movements as close as they could. And so watching the English, it's the best dub I've ever seen. And I no movie is ever going to get close to that without spending millions of dollars and a lot of time. So I will watch that movie dubbed just because they did such an amazing job. But for Indian movies, I would much prefer subtitles. The only downside is I have to pay really close attention. I can't just have it playing in the background. And if I've seen a movie already, if I've seen it once with subtitles, and then there is a version with English dubbing, I will watch that for like a second or third viewing of a movie. But I don't want to watch it as my first viewing because I'm analyzing so many things. I don't want to get distracted by bad dubbing.
Yeah, I actually don't care about I can't watch dub movies, so I watch subtitles because I got into a lot of world cinema. Like I watched like a lot of Japanese movies, a lot of Italian, all those different languages. Korean is one I got into. So then after a point maybe my eyes got adjusted. Like they just try to manage between the picture and the subtitles. Sometimes even Hollywood movies, like the English movies, it's a little hard if there is subtitles. I try to read it even if I can hear the language. Somehow my eyes go there.
Yeah, I've gotten really good at subtitles just because I've watched so many movies with subtitles. You know, my dad used to ship in VHS tapes of Jackie Chan movies back in the in the early 90s. So, like, actually, this is a VHS of Drunken Master 2.
Yeah.
That he had brought over in like the early 90s. And so I was always used to, ever since I was a kid, watching, reading subtitles. So I got really good at being able to see what's going on in the scene, reading the subtitles fast enough to where I know what's going on. And if you watch me watch a subtitled movie, my eyes are like I'm bouncing. Yeah, it's like bouncing all over the place because I can read some, come back up and look and see what's going on. But it is taxing. Like, it's not casual viewing. I can't just put it on my second monitor and then do something else. I have to pay really close attention to it.
Yeah, but I think a lot of action goes into the sound as well, like how they speak the words. I mean, you can look at the actor as well, but the sound, how they speak, and how it's changed, it has a lot of feel to it. And if you lose it, then it's a different movie.
That's why I like subtitles, because I can hear the cadence. I can hear their inflection on words and how they said it. That I don't even need to read all the subtitles. I just need to read enough of the words to get an idea of what they're saying, and the rest I get from how they say it. Yeah. Exactly. I agree.
Yeah, so, I watch Tamil movies with subtitles, and sometimes I don't get the subtitles, so I just watch it without it. They're very little similar to like my language, so I'm still like I can manage. Maybe after like now I watch more than 100 movies in Tamil, so maybe I can manage.
So you kind of get used to it.
Yeah. You understand some words, and you as you're watching a movie, it's easy to understand what they're speaking. If somebody who speaks outside, if I find one guy who's speaking Tamil, I don't know what he's speaking because I don't have context. I mean, sometimes you don't get the context. So movie, you expect what he's trying to speak, at least. So that helps.
I agree. Well, we've been talking for a while.
Yeah.
I think we should probably both go to bed.
Sure. Yeah.
I'll probably edit this and then try and get it up. But thank you very much for reaching out and doing this little collab with me. I had a lot of fun. Some cool discussion in there. Your Twitter information will be in the description below, so people can go and say, you did a great job with Koricon.
I don't know. I don't know people saying that. People say, who is this guy? What is speaking?
And I'll tag you. But thanks again. I really appreciate it. Links to all of my stuff is in the description below. Check that out. And I have some other collabs that I've planned this week, so maybe we'll get some more videos. That'll be fun.
Yeah.
Stay tuned, and I will see you on the next video.